Okay, the Republicans did have a debate over the weekend, and it erupted into true chaos. I mean, just utter embarrassment, Lewis. It started very, very calm with a moment of silence to remember Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia, who passed away over the weekend. But then it was yelling. It was accusations of lies, accusations of dishonesty and misogyny, and a ton of boos, both for and against candidates. And during the second hour of the Republican debate on Saturday in South Carolina, this got beyond anything I've seen in any of these debates, Lewis. And we know that the Democratic debates have been about issues, and the Republican debates have been about who lied when did they realize they were lying, and who's more religious and who's more patriotic and who's going to beat China better and all of this stuff. But Ted Cruz and Donald Trump really got into it over this conversation that there are inconsistencies, to say the least, about Donald Trump's political positions. And it just got very, very ugly. Let's take a look at this. It is just incredible what went on here. Pathetic in a sense.
You notice Donald didn't disagree with the substance, that he supports taxpayer funding for Planned Parenthood. And Donald has this weird pattern. When you point to his own record, he screams, liar, liar, liar. If you want to go...
Where did I support it? Where did I support it? Hey, Ted, where did I support it?
If you want to go and watch the video, go to the website, tedcruz.org.
Where did I support it, Ted?
Out of Donald's own mouth.
Where did I support it?
You supported it when we were battling over defunding Planned Parenthood. You went on television and said Planned Parenthood does wonderful things and we should not defund them.
Oh, it does do wonderful things, but not as it relates to abortion.
So tell me, what are the wonderful things? What are the wonderful things it does?
There are wonderful things having to do with women's health.
You see, you and I disagree on that.
Not when it comes to abortion.
That's where John, the reason principle matters. The reason principle matters, sadly, was illustrated by the first questions today. The next president is going to appoint 1, 2, 3, 4 Supreme Court justices. If Donald Trump is president, he will appoint liberals. If Donald Trump is president, your Second Amendment will go away.
Hold on, McCord.
You know how I know that?
Hold on, gentlemen. I'm going to turn this car around.
John Roberts, Ted Cruz, with your brother, wanted John Roberts to be in the United States Supreme Court. They both pushed him. He twice approved Obamacare.
All right, gentlemen.
My name was my name was mentioned twice.
Well, hold on. Gentlemen, we're in danger of driving this into the dirt.
You gave us
Senator Rubio. I'd like you to. You want to jump in here?
A liar.
I understand. You're on deck, Governor.
He also denigrated one of my.
Yeah. What a mess, Lewis. I mean, what a mess. And I have to tell you, Trump got the better of that, right? I mean, absolutely, Trump got the better of that. It is absolutely true. First of all, it is absolutely true that even if you're pro-life or against abortion, why wouldn't you recognize the 97% of stuff that Planned Parenthood does that has nothing to do with abortion, that is completely uncontroversially good? And I absolutely applaud Donald Trump for saying that. I don't believe Donald Trump is anti-abortion. I think it's all just a lie to placate and appeal to these right-wing voters. But let's assume he is for a second. Yeah, he's right. The other stuff that Planned Parenthood does is uncontroversial. And he's absolutely right that when you look at who's on the Supreme Court today, look at who Ted Cruz voted in favor of. I think he absolutely crushes Cruz on that.
Yeah, and I think that's probably his best performance thus far.
And then we got to a conversation between Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio about amnesty and undocumented immigration. And then they started arguing both in English and in Spanish about who lied and who told the truth. This is just amazing.
The Rubio-Schumer amnesty plan.
Ooh.
Apparently supported by the donor class, which is why Washington supported it. The Rubio-Schumer amnesty plan passed the Senate, and it was on the verge of passing the House. House leadership intended to take it up and pass it with the Democrats overruling most of the Republicans. And the question for anyone on illegal immigration is, where were you in that fight? Where did you stand? You are right.
Yeah.
There is a difference between Senator Rubio and me on this question.
We're going to have to do...
Your reply.
We're going to have to do this again, okay? When that issue was being debated, Ted Cruz at a committee hearing very passionately said, I want immigration reform to pass. I want people to be able to come out of the shadows. And he proposed an amendment that would have legalized people here. Not only that, he proposed doubling the number of green cards. He proposed a 500% increase on guest workers.
Right.
Now his position is different. Now he is a passionate opponent of all those things. So he either wasn't telling the truth then, or he isn't telling the truth now.
Right.
But to argue he's a purist on immigration is just not true.
Major, I get a response to that.
Very quickly.
All right, Senator Cruz. Your response, Senator Cruz.
You know, the lines are very, very clear. Marco right now supports citizenship for 12 million people here illegally. I oppose citizenship. Marco stood on the debate stage and said that. But I would note, not only that, Marco has a long record when it comes to amnesty. In the state of Florida, as Speaker of the House, he supported in-state tuition for illegal immigrants. In addition to that, Marco went on Univision in Spanish and said he would not rescind President Obama's illegal executive amnesty on his first day in office. I have promised to rescind every single illegal executive action, including that one. And on the question,
Well, first of all, I don't know how he knows what I said on Univision because he doesn't speak Spanish. And second of all, the other point that I would make...
Marco, si quieres, díselo ahora mismo, díselo ahora. En español, si quieres.
This is a disturbing pattern.
Yeah. Anyway, Ted Cruz making just a grave even in that one sentence, made a mistake using the word díselo, but that doesn't matter. We won't even get into that. Lewis, I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. These guys are cannibalizing each other, and it is everything we could have imagined it would be. Donald Trump standing in the middle saying, I'm not getting involved in this one. I'll go back to calling Cruz a liar after this calms down. Just an incredible display of insanity.
It is entertaining. It's entertainment. And the crowd makes it seem like this is the political equivalent of the Jerry Springer show or something.
And it is. And it absolutely is. And it could not be more different than when you see nuanced discussions about 12 versus a $15 minimum wage on the Democratic side. I mean, could not be more different.